beautiful people. Sunny Bonani, how are you? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world, because it is breakfast somewhere and it is dinner somewhere else. So we say to you, welcome to Breakfast Show Yantambama, the only show that recognizes that your breakfast must be during someone else's dinner, because we do come from different corners of the world. So as you enter, please do let us know where you are watching from. Drop a flag, drop a fact about the country where you are right now. If you are new here, my name is Thenjiwe. I am a South African stand-up comedian. I currently live in the UK. And thank you so much for clicking to join us. And because it is Friday, we say happy Friday. Happy Funny Friday. Hope you are having a good Friday as we wrap up the week. Friday is my favorite day, especially on Fridays where I get to stay at home. I don't have to go out and perform. August has been a good month for me as a comedian in terms of resting. I've not done much because we have been experiencing a heat wave in the UK. So I was like, you know what? Let me just enjoy the sun. Winter is coming where I'm going to want to be indoors all the time. So it is summer. Let me enjoy the summer. I'm not even in Edinburgh. So what am I rushing? So I've not been working as a stand-up comedian. I've just been relaxing, enjoying my weekends. So happy Friday. We welcome you to our Friday. And on this channel, on this show, Breakfast Show Yantambama, Monday we motivate you. Tuesday we talk about traveling. We take you to places you didn't even know existed. And Wednesday we try and make you money. And then Thursday we try and fix your career. If you have not watched our previous episodes, please do go and watch. And by Friday, we have accepted that nothing is working. We are trying to fix you, but some of you are not fixable. Some of you are so difficult to fix. But we appreciate you, we love you, and thank you so much for watching. And why are you at home on a Friday? Aren't you supposed to be out? Yeah, so on Friday, it's Laughter Friday. Let's just have a laugh, let's relax. Because sometimes you do not need another motivational speaker telling you to wake up at 4 a.m., telling you they started their life with one grain of rice and now they have a supermarket where they sell 10 kgs of rice. Some of us went to sleep at 3:45, guys. So don't tell us to wake up at 4 a.m. Leave us alone. Today we talk about things that we pretend are normal as adults. Things that we pretend are normal as adults. Because adulthood is very strange. In Zulu, my language, we say, old age does not knock. You just wake up one day, you are old. Doesn't warn you. It doesn't tell you I'll be coming next week. You just wake up and you're old. It doesn't shout. It creeps in very quietly. You wake up and you start seeing one gray hair. The next thing you see half the hair is gray. Like it does not give you time to prepare. And it doesn't come at the same age for everyone, and that's the strangest thing. That's why nobody wants us. When we were children, when we were young, we thought adults know what they were doing. We thought they knew what they were doing. Like you look at your mother, you think my mother has a plan. Actually, when you look back when your mother was 30, you thought she was very old and she had everything together. You get to 30, you realize 30 is young. And you look at 40-year-olds and you think they've got it together. They know what they're doing. You get to 40, you realize Actually, these are kids who know nothing. You get to 50. I wonder what it's like when you get on the 50th floor, because right now I'm on the 4th floor and I do have a series live on the 4th floor. Please do check it out. I am on the 4th floor and I'm like nearing the 5th floor, but still, there's so much I haven't figured out. I wonder when the time will come where I think now I am a happily, fully grown adult who knows exactly what they are doing, who knows exactly what needs to be done. You grew up thinking your father has a plan, your teacher has a plan. Then you become an adult yourself and you realize nobody has a plan. Everybody is just trying things out. At least we live during Google times. At least we can even Google things. We can chat GPT things. Imagine before all this technology, how were they even surviving? Where were they getting all this information? How our generation would not have survived without some of these things that make life easy, like technology. Even doctors sometimes will Google. My doctor Googles in front of me. I'll tell you what symptoms I have, and I'll see her putting it on ChatGPT. I'm like, maybe I should have just paid my £20 subscription and not wasted water to shower and come to this office, because ChatGPT would have told me the same thing that they're telling my doctor. And there's been times where I've Googled the symptoms and Google has told me what the doctor is going to say. I go to the doctor says the same thing. I'm not encouraging that. It's a horrible thing to do. Never ever go to Dr. Google or Dr. ChatGPT. Go to your real doctor. But we have seen our doctors Googling in front of us. Why are they doing that? Everybody's just Googling things. You're sitting there thinking, wow, the doctor is really good. But no, the doctor has consulted Dr. ChatGPT and Dr. Google. While you are waiting, thinking the doctor is doing some research, no, busy putting it there. Woman, 48, headache after eating cheese. What is happening? We are all guessing. Some people just guess in suits. Some people guess in uniform. But this is adulthood. Nobody prepares you for it. And there are so many things that we have all agreed are normal that if you really think about them, make absolutely no sense at all. There are so many things that just don't make any sense. But as adults, we've sat down and agreed, this is normal. We've agreed. Why do we do that? Why? Adulthood come with so many abnormal things, guys. Like waking up tired. What's that about? You have just slept. You've just slept for 8 hours, some of you 12 hours. Why are you waking up exhausted? What happened in your sleep? Like, were you mining during your sleep? Were you fighting crime during your sleep? Did you have a night shift in another dimension? Like, what's happening? Am I the only one who wakes up and immediately says, I'm so tired? I wake up and first thing I'm thinking is, I'm tired. And then I go back to sleep. I've not even stood up. And then when I look at how I used to go partying and clubbing, there were times when I would party and go straight from a party to work and still work a 12-hour shift and not be tired. When did I start getting excited when people cancel plans? Like, I literally get so excited when I make plans with my friends, okay, we're going to go out at 8 p.m., we're going to meet at this place, blah, blah, blah. And then if they start canceling, I'm like, thank God. Thank God. I'm excited to put my pajamas on and stay at home. I don't know whether it's just a mental thing, is it a body thing? But I find myself somehow waking up and needing annual leave. Because when you are young, adulthood looks glamorous. And everyone tells you, oh, don't do this, you'll do it when you are older. And you think, when I grow up, nobody will tell me what to do. When I grow up, I will go wherever I want to go when I grow up. But they don't tell you, when you grow up, you're not going to have the energy to do these things. Nobody will tell you what to do. Instead, the bank will tell you what you can do. HMRC and SARS will tell you. The council will tell you. The municipality will tell you. The electricity company will tell you what you can and cannot do. Your landlord will tell you what you can and cannot do. Your knees will tell you what you can and cannot do. Because your knees are now senior management. They decide whether you are going upstairs or not. You look at a staircase and your knees just look at you and say, really? You think you can do that? And I always feel sorry for my people in the diaspora who work so hard for 20 years, 15 years. They build their mansions back home in Africa, triple stories, double stories. But by the time they retire and go home, they can't even go upstairs. They're too tired. Their knees are just like, nah, sis. We'll just send someone to go upstairs and take photos for us so you can see what your house looks like upstairs. Imagine if you had enjoyed your money, enjoyed your house when you were younger. As diaspora people, why do we do that? Why do we miss out on our youth when we should be enjoying life and keep postponing it for when we are older? Forgetting that when we are older, there are things we are just not physically capable of doing. You are staying in a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom kind of flats in England with your own children, raising your children while you are building a mansion back home. By the time your children finish school, it's time to retire. Number one, they don't want to go home. They have no ties with your home country. Number two, they have made their own life. They want their own homes. They're buying their own. So you've had this mention, but who enjoyed it? Not you, not your children. Why are we waiting to be old to enjoy things we should be enjoying now, to enjoy life? Why are we waiting to be old to go on that holiday? Now you are in a boat cruise somewhere in Paris, you are sleeping, you are tired, you are tired, you are old. Why are you waiting for your 60th birthday to enjoy that party? Why are you waiting for your retirement to go to Paris? Are you really going to be going to Rome when you are 65? Can you climb those Spanish steps? Why do we keep postponing things and think it's normal to say, I'll do it when I'm older? Why are you not enjoying your time, your money? Now, I'm not saying don't save. Of course, you have to save. You have to save for the future, for the rainy days. But we postpone so many things and we make it normal. We postpone the time we should be spending with our children when they are younger and we make it normal. As couples, some of you have been married for 20 years, you don't even know each other because you are both always at work. You do a lalavuga, one comes in, one goes out. Why do we do that at our young age? Why do you never go on holiday, get to know your partner. You've never had a weekend off and you have children under 10. You've never. And when you do have, you are so tired. You've overworked yourself, and we make it normal, especially for us who live outside our countries, especially in the diaspora. We make so many things look so normal that are just not normal. We think getting older means freedom. And as an adult, getting older means you start saying things like, do we really need to go out? And then when we get to that, we start calling it maturity. Like when I was younger, someone would say there's a party. I was already putting on the shoes. Sometimes I would find out where the party is when I'm already dressed. Now somebody says there is a party. First question is where, what time, is there parking? Like there are so many questions I will ask. What time does it finish? Do those people start things on time? Who else is going? Can I come just for an hour? Actually, please send my apologies. I am not going. Send my best regards. And the best thing is when the event gets cancelled and I get a message, unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances. I love the unforeseen circumstances. I will pretend to be disappointed, but deep down, I'm like, thank God. Imagine not living your life because you're waiting. When I'm older, it worries me the amount of people I know. Some have had sicknesses, some have had strokes. They can no longer enjoy the homes that they built. Building a mansion, spending all the money you work for in your youth, building a house that you're never going to enjoy. Waiting so many years. Your children have not been to Disneyland because you are building at home. You are building at home. Your children have never had their own bedroom because you are building at home. You are building a big mansion for your family back home. And we think that's normal. You'll see people sitting and showing off and showing each other photographs of their mansions at home. Where they are living, they are suffering. At least if you get a chance to go home every year, go at least and enjoy your mansion. But for most people, they can't even afford that because while you are building, where are you going to get money for tickets? And most of you build in rural areas, which is good for you. But do you remember that your children have no ties with your home country? And you're building in places where you can't even sell the place, where the banks can't even mortgage the place. Like now you have this house that's worth $2 million in a place where you can't even sell through the banks. Where you're going to get someone with cash in such an area? Yes, you have the biggest, nicest house in your village, but do your children want to go there? Your whole life you lived in tiny rented properties abroad. Your children suffered living in the worst neighborhoods, living in council estates, just so that back home you can have a big mansion. Do we really think that is normal, guys? Why do we make such things look normal? Nobody prepared us for the emotional damage. Have you even checked if you qualify for a mortgage where you are? Because maybe you could be paying a mortgage where you live. And then 20 years, 30 years later, when you decide to go home and sell, you'll still be living with cash. And then go and build. Some of the people built their houses 10, 15, 20 years ago. They're not even in style anymore. You need to go and do so many renovations before you can even move in. When you left your country, bread was $1.80. And now it's $45. Why do we do that to ourselves? You are eating unhealthy. You can't even afford to buy good food, buy fruits, go out to eat because you are building at home. Everything you buy, you're looking at the price, but you are sending money to people at home to go and shop at Woolworths. But your children must eat food from Too Good to Go. They must eat food with those yellow labels. You know what shops start reducing food at what time. Why do you make that normal? People in the diaspora, let's have these conversations. You pick up grapes, you look at the price, you put them down. Now your children can't even enjoy the things they like because now you are doing things back home. You are building back home. Forgetting that those people at home, even if they may not have a lot of money, but they have something you don't have. They have time. They have time with their families. They have time with their children. They have time to bond with their children. While you are here doing 12 hours, doing 15 hours, 17 hours, 28 hours a day. You can't even afford to buy biscuits. Here at home, someone that you send money to who's never had a job is sitting, drinking their tea with biscuits every day. But you are telling your children, no, we can't afford it. I'm building back home. Why do we do that? We need to stop making these things normal. You are buying clothes at a charity shop for your own children and for yourself. But you are sponsoring so many people back home to buy brand new clothes for themselves. You've sponsored weddings, baby showers. You've sponsored so many things, but you cannot even take your children to Harrods for a day of shopping. The only time you buy designer clothes is when you are visiting home so that they can see that you live overseas. Why do we do that to ourselves? Why can't we prioritize ourselves? I worry mostly about people because I see so many people, because I'm at an age now where my friends are all sorts of ages. I've got friends in their 60s, 70s. I've got friends in their 20s, 30s, 40s. And I look at some of them. There are people, guys, who are in their 80s. They are still working here because they were not investing in themselves. They were sending money home. Some of them have tried to go home only to find that their sisters that they built houses for are now telling them, oh, my husband doesn't want us to have relatives in our house. But sis, you've never worked a day in your life. I bought you this house while I was overseas. But what can you say? The people you send money to back home are sending their children to good school, private schools, while you are sending your children to the worst public schools. But there are white people in that school. Why do we do that to ourselves? Why do we do that to our children? Especially us Africans who live abroad. When we start enjoying our youth, start enjoying our lives, start enjoying while we can, while the body can still enjoy, while the brain can still function. Because, the thing with children, they grow up so fast. 5 years old, you wake up, they are 25. You wake up, they have their own life. And you now start thinking, oh, my children, they are not good to me. But you never spend time with them. You're at work. Why do you think people put their parents in nursing homes? Because they want to live their youth. They take your youth away from your own family so that you can look after their parents, which is fine, but don't overdo it. It's fine, it's a job, you get paid, but don't do it to the detriment of you losing your own family, losing your own children. We must stop making it normal. We must stop making it normal to give up our lives, give up our families, give up our children, our time with our children to look after other people. At some point in adulthood, you have to make decisions that are not just about trying to impress people back home. At some point, you have to decide, I live in this country, let me live a normal life. Because you can't live like you come here, you're like, in 3 years' time, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. But 20 years later, you're still trying to do what you had planned to do 17 years ago. Your own children don't know you. You busy showing us photos of your big mansion back home. But at what cost? At what cost? It worries me because I know so many people who've built houses they've never stepped foot in. They've never visited. And it's worse, the ones who send money for people to build them houses and they'll be sending them photos of the neighbor's house. When they go home, they realize, there is no house. I was just sending money. People that were doing their own things. Meanwhile, you sacrificed time with your family, time with your children. People always ask, how come the divorce is so high in the diaspora? Because people don't have time for each other. People don't spend time. And people try to divide one salary into 7 families. You can't divide one salary into 2, 3, 4 households. And most people are trying to divide one minimum wage salary into 6 households. You're already on minimum wage, which means you are struggling even where you are living, but also you want to be taking care of people back home. You know you're not paying school fees for your children, not because there are no fee-paying schools where you live, not because fee-paying schools where you live are not better than the free schools, but you are paying fees for other people back home to go to private schools, but you can't do that for your own children. Why do we make that normal? Why have we agreed, Nje? When did we have that meeting as the diaspora to sit down and say, you know what, it's okay if our own children suffer as long as people back home are doing well. It's okay if we don't have a decent home for our children here where we live, as long as our families and neighbors back home can see that now we have this one big mansion. You, like, why do we do that? What's wrong with us? What have we done? Some of you are paying for maids for homes that have no one back home. You'll be sending money to a gardener, to a maid, for a home where you do not live, a home that you visit once a year, a home that you visit every 3 years. Whereas where you live, where you work 12 hours, where you're really in need of some help, where your children need a nanny, you don't have one. They must look after themselves. They must clean the house. You must come back from work after a 12-hour shift and either clean the house or just let it be as it is. You will see next week. You will see tomorrow. But you are subsidizing a lifestyle for other people at home that your children are not living. Why do we have such sentimental value to people's feelings back home? So much so that we want to impress them more than we want to impress our own children. Why do we do that? Why do we do that? And let's talk about bills. Because bills are the subscription to life. Everyone has a bill they are paying. Bills are strange because you pay them every month and then they will come back. Just because you paid it this month doesn't mean it's not coming back next month. You'll pay for electricity, you'll pay for your phone, you'll pay for everything, but next month it will come back. But the one bill that we never think of are bills such as insurance. Like you'll find people, they have no insurance, no life cover, no ebolethu, nothing. But they are paying for Netflix, they're paying for Amazon Prime, they are even paying for DSTV for people back home. Like, have you thought about what happens if the worst happens? Have you thought about your children? No. You are even paying for people back home to have a burial plan, a funeral plan. But when are your life here? You'll be depending on GoFundMe. It's like you're subscribing for your existence to prove to people back home that you are existing abroad. Some of you are paying unnecessary bills for people. I know people who are paying for people's Netflix back home, but now their children don't even have any Netflix or anything. Your children must suffer so that when now you can impress people back home to prove that you live abroad. Why do you do that? I know people with cars that are sitting waiting for them back home, but they'll be walking with sandals in snow. And they go home for a week or 2 weeks every year. They have a Mercedes waiting for them at home. Here, they'll be walking in snow, wearing sandals. They don't even have proper shoes for the snow. Because why? We worry too much. And for some reason, we have made this look like it's normal. You go to a gathering of South Africans or just Africans generally who live abroad, they'll be sitting together and everyone is talking about their lifestyle back home, but they've been living here for 20 years. But they're all showing off to each other about their houses back home, their lifestyle back home. It's good to invest. It's good to worry about your future back home if your aim is to retire back there, but not for your children to suffer where they live just because when you are worried about that big mansion that you are never even going to enjoy, because by the time you go home, you need a wheelchair because you'll be done. You can't even climb those stairs to go to the second floor or first floor. We need to be careful that we don't give up our youth in preparation for, number one, a life that's not guaranteed. We don't lose the time we have with our children because we are so worried about when we go home. We need to come to an agreement to make our home where we are. And when it's time to move, we will move our home to where we will be moving to. Because what's the point of suffering and living like a peasant where you are working so hard just because you want to be living well and impressing people back home where you don't even live? I see so many people when we go home, they rent these expensive cars. And I'm like, the money you are spending on this rental for 3 weeks, you could buy a car that you can drive to work every day where you live. You see people, they'll be, hey, the furniture you see in these empty houses where nobody lives, and you compare to where you like, but where you live and work and sleep every day, where your children live, you are sleeping on a bed from British House Foundation. You don't even know if someone died on that bed, just so that you can take a lot of money and buy a brand new quality bed in a house that you visit once a year. And we've decided to make that look normal. We've decided that is okay. We've decided there's nothing wrong with that. Why do we do that to ourselves? Why do we do that to ourselves? Why? You have an aircon in a house that you visit once, 1 week a year, 2 weeks a year, 2 weeks every other 3 years. And you can't even afford a fan where you live 24/7 for the whole year. Why? You have expensive walk-in closets in the house that you visit. Yet your clothes are in boxes where you live full time. And for some reason, we've made that normal. Why? You're sending designer clothes for other people's children back home, yet your children must go to charity shops for their own shopping. They must go to a supermarket to shop at Tesco's. But in order to show off back home, you're buying Nikes and all these designers for other people's children. Why must your children suffer? And then people grow up. Some of us, you come to our homes, we are such hoarders. That's another thing we need to talk about, to stop hoarding. Because we are hoarding, we're buying everything for everyone back home. Your children can't even move in their own home because it's full of boxes, suitcases, everything. Because it's like the body is here, but the mind is back home. What can we do to make the body and the mind be in the same place at the same time? Was why? By the time you go back home, you can't even move properly. And all the furniture that you bought now, like the furniture you bought 20 years ago when you bought that mansion, when you built that mansion, and you haven't gone home. If you were to go home tomorrow, that furniture is not the furniture you still like. That furniture is out of fashion, it's out of style. Imagine if you had just enjoyed it where you lived. Who made this normal? When did we decide to make this normal? When did we decide to make it normal to worry about people back home more than we worry about ourselves, more than we worry about our own children? Why must what we have back home be our identity more than our comfort where we live? Why must our own children suffer in order for us to look after other people's children? Some people in the diaspora are barely surviving, are barely making ends meet. You can invite them for anything. You can invite them today for Christmas. I'll be working. October 14, I'll be working. September 34, I'll be working. No time for yourselves, no time for your children, never hosted a party for your own child, but always sponsoring parties for other people's children back home. But you can't even do parties for your children because I'm working. I'll be working. I can't do it. I am working. And on the occasion that you do celebrate, it's celebrating by buying those £3.95 cakes from Sainsbury's, but buying designer cakes for people back home. Why do we do that to ourselves? People in the diaspora, they need 6 weeks off, 6 weeks notice for a coffee date. When did we make that normal? Who made it normal? People get 1 day off after 17 days, and that day is for cleaning the house because can't even afford help. Yet you are paying for a helper back home to clean a house where nobody lives there, or people who live there don't even have jobs themselves. Why do we do that? to ourselves. That's something we really, really need to talk about. Especially as our children grow up here. When we go home, believe you me, very few of them will be wanting to go. They have no ties with our country. So nobody's going to live in that big house of yours. Chances of your children meeting and marrying people from your home country are very slim. They don't live there. They didn't go to school there. They have no connection with your home country. So that big mansion you are building back home, nobody's going to enjoy it. Should have used the money to enjoy the time with your children when they were growing. Should have used the money to take your children on holiday. Should have used the money to afford yourself some days off so you can spend time with your own children. And this is not just from one African country. It's a universal thing in the diaspora. I don't know when we decided it was normal. I just hope we can change. I hope we can do better. I hope we can look after ourselves where we are more than we look after ourselves where other people are. Yes, we need to invest. We need to think of our future. We need to put money into pension. But the money you are using to build a mansion back home, why don't you use it to build a mansion where you are? Why don't you use it to pay for a mortgage where you are? So that when retirement time comes, you can sell and go. You don't have to live in a council estate your whole life abroad just so that you can afford a big, huge mansion back home. When the time comes and you get there, you won't be able to go upstairs because you are overworking yourself. Your knees will be refusing to climb the stairs. They'll be tired because you are overworking yourself just to impress people back home. You are overworking yourself. Look at me, can't even afford to do hair, can't afford a hairstyle. And then someone from back home be like, I'm going to a wedding tomorrow, give me money for hair. I'm going to a funeral, give me money for hair. They'll be like, oh, I have to give them. Otherwise, they will think I'm broke. I mean, I live overseas. I need to prove to them that I've got money. I need to prove to them. Oh, I need to pay for my maid back home. And people will be thinking they're showing off. And Mina, it's just foolishness. You'll be sitting with them after working 34 days without a break. They're busy cleaning their house and telling you they're paying for a garden person and a maid and back home. Like, why? Why are you doing that to yourself? So that your siblings and your neighbors can see that you are doing well overseas, but are you really doing well? Do your children think the same? Make time to spend with your children. A lot of children abroad are neglected because the parents are overworking. A lot of people feel like they cannot afford a lifestyle they deserve abroad because their minimum wage check is divided into two lifestyles. You want to live a posh lifestyle back home, you cannot do that on one salary. Look for another job, but then the compromise in looking for another job is that now you have no time. When will you spend time with your spouse, with your husband, with your wife, with your children? When will you spend time with yourself? When will you have a social life? You know, your sister's children, your cousin's children that you are busy working hard to support, when they graduate, they're going to say, oh, my parents did everything for me. You couldn't tell they were not working. Because they don't going to count you. They don't even know you. They have no connection to you. They don't even know you're the one who's funding them. They think their parents are such hustlers. They don't know how my mom manages. You could swear my parents were lawyers. I have everything I want. Meantime, your children are suffering abroad because you are busy sponsoring other people's lifestyle while your own children are suffering. You are living on baked beans. sending money for people to buy their shopping at Woolworths. You're living on chicken wings, making chicken curry with chicken wings, because now you are busy building a big mansion back home that you will never live in. Never. So guys, let's be careful. This is Breakfast Show Yantambama, the only show that recognizes that breakfast is not at the same time everywhere. It might be breakfast here, but it might be Ntambama where you are, or vice versa. And we say thank you so much for joining me. Please do consider thinking about the things that we discuss on the show, because it all comes from a place of love. It all comes from a place of do not make the mistakes we have made. And please do not forget to subscribe, like the video, share the video, and leave a comment. Let us know what you think about these things that we have made normal, these things that we have decided are normal, which should not be normal. And I love you. I wish you nothing but the best. May you make the right decisions. Spend time with your children. Invest in yourself. Enjoy your youth. Don't stop living just because you are waiting for the time when you go back home. You matter. You deserve happiness. You deserve joy. You deserve to explore. You deserve to enjoy life. God did not give birth to you to just... God did give birth to us? No. You were not born to just go and do 12-hour shifts and come home and sleep and go again and do 12-hour shifts. You deserve better than a 12-hour shift. You deserve to live. You deserve to enjoy your life. And yes, save for the future, prepare for the future, but your present time is just as important. Don't forget to live because you are so worried about impressing people back home. Don't forget to live a decent life because you are so worried about people back home knowing that you are doing well overseas. Don't miss out on the time with your children because you are so worried about what you have back home. Don't miss out on what you have with you right here. So many marriages have ended in the diaspora because of such things. So many relationship breakdowns between parents and children. Some children even end up with social services because parents do not have time to parent because they are doing double shifts. They're working 28 hours a day to try and build those mansions back home, to try and support everyone back home. Don't lose your own family because you are so worried about people in another continent. Love your families, support your families, but in the process, don't lose your own family, don't lose your own children, don't lose your own partners. Don't forget to live while you are giving other people a life. Even when you are flying, they always warn you, put your own mask first before you help others. Put your own mask first before helping others. Make your life comfortable where you are first before helping others back home, before helping others. Look after your own children first before helping other people and their children. Make sure your children are going to decent schools first before sending other people's children to decent schools. Make sure your children have decent clothes first before buying those designer clothes for other people's children back home. Make sure your children go on holiday first before taking other people's children on holiday. Make sure your spouse has a good life with you before sponsoring other people's spouses to have a good life back home. You also deserve a good life. You also deserve a rest as well. Don't forget to rest because you are busy overworking your body just so that people back home can think you have money. Some of you are living a life that is destroying you physically, mentally, emotionally. But there's time to change. What you didn't do in 20 years, you can do in 5 years. That is my prayer for 2026. And we can still change. There's time to change. There's time to improve. Let us stop making things normal that are not supposed to be normal. And I love you. Unkulunkulu abe nani. May you not forget to subscribe to the Breakfast Show Yantambama. Breakfast Show Yantambama. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Subscription is free. Mahala.